Welcome to StudySync, our new digital curriculum at Johansen High School. I'm on the main page of StudySync right now, and we're going to look at all the different components that StudySync has to offer you as a student. I'm going to go ahead and look at the top of the page right now, where I am on my assignments page. This is probably the most important page in StudySync because it is how you access and complete all the different assignments that your teachers push out to you. We're going to get to this in just a moment, but I also wanted to show you the Binder tab. When you click on the Binder tab, this is where you will get to all of the assignments that you have completed in the past. We don't really have to worry about that right now because we haven't completed anything. The third tab that's on this page is the Library tab, where there's lots of different stories that you can read, but for the most part you're not going to access this page because your teachers are going to be assigning things to you. Another important area is your profile page. If you go ahead and click on your name in the top corner, you can go ahead and click on Profile. The most important thing on this page is the App key, and that's to access the StudySync's app so you can work on this offline. You can go ahead and launch the app from this page as well. Now, back on the main assignments page, we're going to look at all the different things that you can do in an assignment on StudySync. There's lots of different assignment types in StudySync. There are blasts, Sync TV episodes, reading assignments, writing assignments, and skill-based lessons. You can also look at what type of assignment is there by looking at the little icon on the corner of each assignment square. You can see the title of the assignment, who assigned it to you, and most importantly, you can see the due date. We have a couple of different assignment types here, like a blast, a first read, and a close read. I'm going to go ahead and go into the first read assignment here, just so you can see what this looks like. Again, I can see the title of each assignment at the top of the page, who assigned it, and when it is due by. I can also see any type of handout that is associated with the assignment. In this case, it is a grammar PDF document. All I have to do is click on it and it'll open it up in a new page for me so that I could then complete it. Now this first read has 3 different sections that I could toggle or move between. It has an introduction, a read section, and a think question section. Now, in the introduction, mostly your teacher will go over that with you. I'm going to go ahead and click on the read portion, which is the story itself. And I want to talk about a couple of different features while I'm here. On each section, I have this little area right here, which offers me a lot of different controls. I can play audio for this story and have the story read to me by clicking on the audio button here.
From Chapter 2, A Tale of Two High Jumpers, or 10,000 hours plus or minus 10,000 hours.
Notice that when I click audio, a little control portion will pop up at the bottom of my screen.
From Chapter 2, A Tale of Two High Jumpers, or 10,000 hours plus or minus.
I can pause and play the audio from here.
Minus 10,000 hours.
I can also see how much time has elapsed and how much time I still have left. I can control my volume. And then there are 2 very important tools on the end here. I can have StudySync highlight the text as it is read to me. So I'm going to go ahead and click play and highlight to show you what that looks like.
On January 19, 2006, Donald Thomas was sitting in the cafeteria at Lindenwood University in St.
Pretty cool, right? I can also have StudySync read the text to me slower if I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and click play and then the slow button at the very end.
Charles, Missouri, boasting about his slam-dunking prowess with a few guys from the track team.
I can turn off these features by clicking on them again as I go along. If you have StudySync highlight as it is read to you, your annotations are automatically turned off and you won't be able to annotate. So make sure that if you are annotating, you kind of turn that off for a second. Now, I can go ahead and turn the audio off and focus on the rest of it. I know that my teacher wants me to annotate all the time, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure my annotations button is turned on. And if I want to refer back to textual evidence, I can also make sure that my paragraphs are numbered on the side. These are 2 options that I usually want on at all times. In order to create an annotation, I'm going to go ahead and read through my section and figure out what I want to highlight. Let's say I want to highlight this sentence here because it shows me some textual evidence that I might need. I'm going to highlight it and then let go of it with my mouse, and this box will pop up. Normally, highlights in StudySync default to the color yellow, but I can click by the yellow box right here on the drop-down menu, and I can add different colors if I wanted to. Your teacher might have a color system that they want you to use, or you can use your own color system, but let's say I want to highlight this in green. I'm going to go ahead and pick that color. I can also type in a comment to myself, so if I wanted to tell myself that this was evidence, I can go ahead and do so. Once I'm done creating my comment, I'm just going to go ahead and click Create Note. It's going to tell me that my annotation is saved, and I cannot worry about it anymore. But let's say I wanted to remove this or add to this later on. I'm going to go ahead and click on that same annotation, and I have the option to remove it right there or add more to it by clicking Edit. I'm going to go ahead and remove it right now, but you can go ahead and practice creating your annotations. I'm going to go ahead and click over to the last section in a first read, which are the think questions. I have 5 different think questions I need to complete, and I know that by looking at the top right here, and I can easily shift between the different questions I want to answer. On question 1, I can go ahead and just start typing any answer that I want to start typing in response to the question. But let's say I need to refer to clues from the text, which normally the questions are going to ask me to do. I don't want to have to keep going back and forth between my read section and my think section, so I'm going to go ahead and click this button right here that says split screen mode. That will make sure I can look at different sections of this at the same time. I can go ahead and read and annotate and answer the question. Now, let's say it's asking for a quote, and I don't want to take the time out and type out every single word on here. I can't really copy and paste right here because if I do, it's just going to create an annotation, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the annotation button, and just for a moment, I'm going to turn my annotations off. Now I can click, copy, and paste right there, and then I'll turn my annotations back on. Notice how as soon as I add something to my question, all changes are saved. I don't have to worry about going on and making sure that I save my answers. It's going to save it for me. When I have done all my questions and I'm at the last one, I need to click this Submit Assignment button. Please make sure you are clicking this button every time to turn something in. If you don't click Submit Assignment, your teacher is not going to get your responses and you will get a 0 on your assignment. Also realize that once you click that Submit Assignment button, you cannot make any changes to your responses. You're going to have your teacher open back up your responses for you, which can be a little bit frustrating. So make sure you're really ready to submit before you click that button. To exit out, I'm just going to go ahead and make the screen, split screen go away, and I'm going to go back to my assignments page. This time I'm going to go into a close read, which is a little bit different. My introduction is a little bit different because now I have some vocabulary words I need to focus on, and my read section is where things are really different. Now, I still have my same annotations that I did in the first read. This will transfer over to my close read because I'm reading the same thing. But now I have something called a skills focus. These are very specific things I need to focus on in my annotations, so I have to add to them. I can still, again, do the same audio, turn annotations on and off, and do all the numbering of the paragraphs that I want. In this type of assignment, there's also a writing section, which is more like an essay. Okay, I could also view the rubric here, so I can make sure I get an A, and I can also split screen mode as well. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that and go back to the assignments page, and that is a very brief overview of the assignments and how to make annotations in StudySync. Try your best and have a great year.